situation that you were in the classroom and see how it goes. Now the result of the lesson. Walk around, see their examples. If there's someone of the students working really well, I just stop them and show the example and motivate them, and then they continue.
Great.
And at the end, they just walk around, show how they're working.
Because I'm an artist, remember?
Yeah, you
Because I'm
are.
an artist, you remember that?
Yeah, I can tell that.
I
Even
love
when
art.
using a ruler, I love.
Oh, yeah.
Especially these dots are not handy.
You didn't divide
His
the
ruler is very
background.
handy. It has lines in the middle, so
It's
he was using it.
supposed to be like this.
And Sammy was really doing really good. And then at the end of the video, I put the practical sheets, some examples only to show how it works. And some examples of the final examples. I put few of them at the end of the video to show how they're working.
Great.
So it was actually good first lesson. I had like few mistakes or few negative reflecting from the
Sure.
first one.
Things you
First
might
of all,
change
I
for next
used
time.
I used my mobile and I used portrait. I forgot to put landscape, so most of the video is half of the class showing.
Yeah.
I don't have the rules because I didn't. First of every year, I give the first week the rules and expectation, and I review it for 2 classes. I didn't do that with the students, so they
Right.
don't know my rules and expectation in the
Right.
classroom.
Great.
So they are not following when I say class. They know the yes, but it's not like they
For
have
sure,
to be
yeah.
quiet after.
Yeah.
I don't have the poster for the timing because I used to be silent at quiet working time or talking when they are chatting, so they don't know this one as well. So I didn't give them the instructions at the beginning, so it was difficult for the class
Right.
management
To jump in, yeah.
to jump in exactly just to start the lesson so they don't know me.
Right, right.
So I have to work with this one first to give them more about the rules. When I do this, it means like you need to be quiet and listen to me. The board as well, I didn't use it at the beginning to show them examples. I have to use the whiteboard more. And I don't have the bulletin board that I stick the pictures, the instructions about this one. I don't have this one in front of them. So this is sometimes it's handy to see it. So I didn't have it for this lesson. Next time I will do it. So those are my like negative points.
Sure.
How do you feel? How do you feel about it?
So when we look at the success of a lesson, we go back to the learning objective, right? So what was
Yes.
your learning objective for the lesson?
To know how to find out the lines, that they understand that the lines around them. Now they are able to use very accurate lines with the zigzag lines, the wavy line, the curvy line. How to use it in their artwork. This is one of the objectives, and actually it worked.
So maybe the overarching objective is really to understand that line is a part of art,
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
Various
it's
lines
one
is a
of the
part of
main
art.
part of
Yeah.
art actually.
For sure. So then if we have that in our mind, right, that objective is here, then we look at our pieces. The way that you can tell if your lesson was a success or not is compare what they did to the objective,
Yeah,
right? Does it meet the objective? And so what I often do is I have the pile of work, and then I'll sort out often like who met the objective and who didn't, right? By looking at the work, because that's like, these are all definitely wonderful reflections for your next steps, you know, about and maybe they link, if the students didn't meet the objective, maybe those are reasons why. And they're also just things that you're going to consider, right, for next time as well.
Yeah.
But really the true test of your lesson is did it meet the objective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
that's
that's the evidence in the student work as well.
Yes.
And so like when we look at your evidence that you have here, like the suggestions and the samples that you're following, what do you think? Do you think that they have a clear indication of line? Are they using line? Is
Yeah.
that what you would have expected to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Even if the group it's the difficult. Some of them are difficult students to work with them, but actually the result was really good. There are only 11
Yeah.
students, not the whole class, but
Yeah. And then
At
so
the
your
end.
lesson was a success.
yes. I feel that negative coming out, but
No,
if it's
and never think of
the-
negative, right? Just think of like your next step,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, okay.
Like it's always something that you might
Sorry.
consider next time in reflection, right? And it's never a negative. It's just something that we will build
Learn
on, and
from
we
it, yeah.
always have it. We're always growing as learners, right?
Yeah.
So it's something that you're gonna grow. And it was a great. I think it's a really good reflection that you say, I didn't have the structures and behavioral management structures that I normally do in place, and these are the reasons why, right? Next time before I give the lesson, I might do these things first,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
To ensure they know me, you know, because you're just new, to
Yeah.
ensure I've established behavioral routines and, they know the expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I can use the same rules that Mary's using, so they are familiar with the same rules.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to follow than to give them different rules, so they will
100%.
get confused. That's a good point.
Yeah, I would do
Just-
exactly, follow
Yeah,
the
just
routines
follow
that are
the
already
same-
established.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow the same what she's using.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wonderful. And then, yeah, other than that, I think, you really got the result that you were looking for. And so I think in that sense, yeah, I mean, it was great.
Success.
What do you think,
What do you
JC?
think?
Yes, I agree. I think what I thought about when you were explaining line, when you were presenting it, your objective said students will understand what line is and how it contributes to the element of design. So yeah, I would emphasize, this is very like specific, but I would just emphasize how like foundational it is and how like it's I mean, you did this, but it's everywhere and it is a huge part of art. Yeah, that's very like nitpicky, but what else? But yeah, I think it was a great success, and I think this is great for the time that you had, and yeah, like you had 2 classes with them and they
Yes.
produced this, so I think that's great. Yeah, I think it was successful. You did a good job.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
like a nice midpoint scaffolding, I think.
Right,
To really
right.
kind of
And I think
ensure their understanding, and I think that's why you got the result you did, because then it
Yeah.
really consolidated.
That
And gave them
makes
examples, right?
right.
Yeah, and they have to just practice first the lines in front of them, and they create their own by
Right.
using 2, 3, or they just come up with any other lines. So
Yeah.
they start practicing the creating here before they do the final one.
And I think this was
If I give them the final directly, they will
exactly,
just
exactly.
they
You need
don't know what
you
they are
need
doing.
in between. Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
No,